Hola everyone! Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing what is the fire of Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2. Before we can answer this question, we have to look at the verse. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2. The waters and the fire here are the same, so I'll just explain what the fire is. That will cover both of them. The fire represents institutions that are built to make life difficult for righteous people. For example, the leadership systems of this world make the righteous sad. As it was said in Proverbs, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. They base their rule on secularity. They take all semblance of religion out of public places. They teach that religion doesn't really matter. All these actions cause people to feel less and less spiritual, so righteous people can only watch as Christianity starts to disappear, according to Amos chapter 8 verses 11 to 12. Why wouldn't they feel down? However, the sadness of the righteous isn't going to put them into permanent depression. They know that if Christianity ceases to exist, God's plan will still be fulfilled, because He's placed the truth in their hearts. They also know that God will guide their steps, preventing them from falling into Satan's traps. As it was said in Revelation, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth." Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. An example of this guidance can be found in Matthew chapter 24 verses 15 to 21. Satan knew that Jesus was very precious to God, according to Mark chapter 1 verse 11. Therefore, he also knew that if people refused to listen to him or even killed him, God would get very mad. Thus, to destroy God's chosen people, Satan entered the hearts of the leaders and used them to influence the Jews. They punished those who believed in Jesus, according to John chapter 9 verse 22. Their propaganda, their fire, caused many of the Jews to try to kill him, starting from Luke chapter 4 verses 28 to 29. In response, God would send the Romans in to kill thousands of them and eventually destroy their civilization. However, knowing that this would all happen, Jesus told his followers to flee the city beforehand. Those who believed in him escaped the destruction, whereas those who didn't were led to their deaths by the hatred of their leaders. Another example is the story of the Exodus. In Exodus chapter 1 verses 9 to 14, Pharaoh started to spark his own fire. He set up a system of slavery that would oppress the Israelites and exploit them for money. He spread his hatred of the Hebrews to the people, which was why an Egyptian was beating up an Israelite in Exodus chapter 2 verse 11. Obviously, God was not happy with his people being treated like this, so he rained 10 plagues on Egypt until Pharaoh let them go. During the 10th plague, God gave the Israelites instructions in Exodus chapter 12 verses 21 to 23 that would keep their firstborns from dying. By listening to their God, they were able to pass through Pharaoh's fire. Therefore, my advice is that we should trust in the protection of God rather than in the protection of the government. Emergency services provided by the government can save us from a burning building or stop a burglar from breaking into our home, but these services are run by individuals who also want to take people's faith away, which is the only thing that can permanently save them. Yes, it is true that God won't save us from every problem. St. Paul had to deal with sickness in 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 7 to 9, and God refused to heal him. However, God will always work to strengthen our faith, allowing us to withstand the fire of governments and stand ready to inherit eternal life. All we need to do is trust in him. As it was said in Jeremiah, Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 to 8. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. What is the fire of Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2? The fire of Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2 is the institutions of this world that are designed to take people's faith away. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.